So one of the things that really came to my attention the other day was the field from which you look, or you could say the qualities that are imbued by the different states of being. For example, when you ground your attention in being, which is this quiet, silent place within, you go silent. You drop all the personality, all the future, all the past, all the identification with person and identity. And you take a nice few deep breaths. And you center your attention here and now. Then what kind of happens is your attention is reabsorbed into the body. You're kind of suddenly present. So instead of being kind of outside of my eyes, outside of my body, in the physical world, I pop back into my body. So it's like the attention goes back within, and I now know where I am and what I am. I am awareness or consciousness looking through these eyes, through these senses at the world, and I'm back in the body. And when I'm centered in the body, when I'm back in the body, within and without, so first within, and then when I open my eyes, I'm in two places at once. I'm both within and I'm looking without. Once I do that, the entire perception of the world is imbued. It's kind of like, I think imbued is the best word. It's filled with this, or imbued with the essence of being. So I am present. I know myself to be the eternal consciousness. I'm here, I'm now, and I'm looking at the world. And as I look at the world and I hold the space within, the space without, the objects without, the world, the existential world of duality, is somehow imbued with the beauty of the eternal sense of what I am, as opposed to what most people live in. And it's very hard to not do so, because the whole world pretends this is the normal state, which is people open their eyes in the morning, get identified with the world, and they don't realize that they get identified. Well, it's just natural or normal. It's not really natural, but it's normal. And immediately they're outside of their body. So when I'm outside of my body, for example, to speak from my own experience, and I'm not centered in this place of being, presence, but I'm outside, then everything is seen through the perspective of the mind. It's almost like there's two lenses. Like there's a lens that is the natural lens, which is being. And when I'm looking through being, let's say that you put this lens in front, and you're seeing from within, without, then it's imbued with the eternal nature, the presence, the nowness, the moment, here, now, real, eternal. And when this lens is taken away, the usual lens that people have, which has now become normal, but that's why the world's now in a state where it is, and most people are suffering individually and on a larger level, when the other lens pops over, it's the lens of the person, the lens of the mind, the lens of past and future. And that imbues the entire world, when looked at, with a completely other sense. And it's the sense of time, the sense of past, future, person, what I like, what I don't like, what I should avoid. And this whole ego lens basically overlays the entire outer world. And so when we see a car, we might associate the car with something we've seen before, or something that we want or that we don't want. When we see people, we look at things that have hurt us, that things that have affected us, that negatively we associate things with things we've seen before that we like, we don't like. So one lens, the lens of the ego, the lens of the person, the lens of the mind, it once seen through that into the world is not really seen as it is. The outer exterior dual construct of this simulation is not really seen as it is. It's seen through that lens of past, the lens of trauma, the lens of damage, the lens of positives and negatives, not only negatives, but for many adults, they become negatives because they have so many associations that where the ego is trying to protect them from that outer world. And so when seen through that lens, everything is seen as kind of a warning mechanism because the ego technically is and was at least meant to protect the body, the physical organism from harm, from the external world, right? The so-called physical external world. But the moment that you go back within, you go still, you go silent, and you recenter yourself in this presence, and you open your eyes and you remain in two places at once. You remain inside, you're aware of being inside, and you're also aware of the world outside. And when you look at the world in that way, the entire lens that then comes over from consciousness, from awareness, is imbued with the essence of that lens, because that lens has beauty, peace, bliss, joy, well-being. All of these very, let's call them not gross, because this world is gross, the emotions and things, but more subtle qualities of consciousness are seen in the world through that lens, because that lens, once it's held on and you're in and out, inside and outside at the same time, then it imbues the world with that. And I think it's an exercise that is very well worthy of doing. I'll probably be making some more videos about these things and doing them slowly together so that it could be of some assistance maybe. But there's a giant difference between these two worlds. The lens of ego or seeing through the lens of being. So when you come back into your true nature, into the space that you truly are, into the consciousness, the awareness, the essence of who we truly are, the quantum field of consciousness, the primordial eternal state of being, when you rest in it and as it, and then once you're kind of grounded back in your true space, in your true place, then open the eyes, and as you open the eyes, hold on to the place of being, and then be and see. So you're being and you're seeing into the world. That's the lens that imbues the entire world with beauty, with bliss, with joy, with harmony. And then we also recognize the essence of other people. Because you're seeing from consciousness and you see the unified field in everything. You see all organisms, all nature. The entire outer world is then seen to be a unity, an expression of unity in diversity. So the whole diverse world is known to be from that unity, is coming from that unity. And that is a completely different way of being. Eventually, it is the task for each individual that wants to be free from the ego and the suffering of the world. It is the task of I, the individual, to remain or to move permanently into the place of being, to completely be, always remaining in that beautiful state of original state, the state of being, the state of presence, the state of the quantum consciousness that we truly fundamentally are. And because I love being there, because that's where bliss, joy, and happiness and fulfillment and all these states of eternity come from, and moving into that permanently. This is kind of like the real immigration. You don't have to move to another country necessarily, or to another house to be happy, or to another planet to be happy. The place to move into is the place of being, and then opening your eyes and seeing, and then that will imbue the world with what it truly is, as opposed to what the mind would otherwise overlay as that lens does: time, past, suffering. So remain as if you already know what it is to be present and to go to that place, even if you need a little meditation to do so, some guidance from someone. Go to that place within. Remain as that which you truly are. It's primordially what you truly are. It's your original sense. Before you go and open your eyes and go into the world. Because otherwise that other lens, the personal egoic lens, will overlay. And that will make it harder for you to see the world as it truly is and see the beauty. So, this is the task. To live as this.